Hello. Uh, Today we're recording the second episode of Maria and Sofa. Additionally, I just would like to add that we started as a podcast channel, but now it's moved into an interview concept. But it still will be streamed on podcast channels, and you will be still able to listen to it by audio and through your headphones. But I think, in my opinion, world needs now some visual image to see the person, to see the expressions. So that's why I thought to continue more in a video format rather than just a podcast. And today my guest is Oleg. Alexander is my co-founder and a really good friend from Ukraine originally.
Yeah, I was born in Ukraine. I'm living in Glasgow now, and I visited in London today, Maria, for the podcast.
Yeah, so I brought all the way from Glasgow this young gentleman to have few words in front of the camera.
To ask.
Yeah, to ask.
Maria.
Oleg's gonna host all the questions, and I'm looking forward. We were not looking like this last night. We were eating chicken and we were having like food
European
coma.
food.
Yeah. We were like literally we went to a restaurant and we went out to discuss the podcast and
couldn't stop
couldn't stop eating. Literally the breads were flying into tzatziki and hummus were in my dress. So today we're gonna speak about healthy lifestyle.
It's all about the balance, you know.
Okay, stop, please, don't shame us. Anyway, so today Oleg's prepared some questions to discuss and some topics to go through. It's gonna be mainly questions based on our previous podcast because we got great reaction back from the people on my social media, and most of the I've never thought that that's gonna create such a intriguing topic and intriguing conversation on social media is that the fact that I'm from Azerbaijan. So there have been so many questions and so many great comments, so many reposts. Like, thank you each and all of you, because it's unbelievable. That was the last thing that I thought gonna happen. Like, obviously I'm proud of where I am from, and I know that there are not many Azerbaijanis in the world, but I had no idea that interest level of people is so big. So I thought, why not to focus on that as well, like to tell people more about us and to tell people more about Azerbaijani people. So that's gonna be one of our second main topics today. But let's go with the flow. As I said at the first episode, we're just here to be ourselves and to express ourselves as we can. I mean, that's the main reason and main factor that I want to focus on. But we are not going to be ourselves for 100%. No hummus and no bread.
Not today.
No. After.
So I really want to ask you a question about the cultural difference between Azerbaijani one and the British one. What was your expression when you just moved here? What was your first impression of London?
I would say for me, London is more like a home, like anywhere else, because I feel myself I feel myself home here, and it's not about the city, it's not about England. It's just that the fact that I found myself here as Azerbaijani, and obviously my home where I was born, it's Baku. I can never compare anything to that, but I think English culture is very different to London culture.
Yeah, exactly.
Because as each capital,
really multicultural, and that gives you freedom, I think, because you've got so many cultures and they all mix together in London. So it gives you like freedom to impress yourself, and experience whatever you want here.
Exactly. You're not an expat here. You're just a person. You're an individual, and it's like a sports. It's like I can compare London to sports. Because in smaller cities, people used to play it as a team, play life as a team, as a football team, let's say. It's a game that you play with 11 people. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, it's coming home on Sunday, but
exactly.
I'm a big fan. England team, only on this occasion. But London is a city where you play it individually, as tennis, or as it's an individual lifestyle. Like, you don't have support, you don't have the defender. So that's what makes it different. And that's why for me, I cannot say the difference between English and Azerbaijani culture, because as I said, I feel like London is not English culture. Maybe at a certain point it is, in a sense of, obviously there is a huge impact of English culture. It's the capital of England. But in a sense of general culture, I think at some point, based on my experience outside of London, with my friends, that it's really similar with Azerbaijani culture, because people have similar values. I feel like you're from Ukraine, and I think people from our side of the world and with our culture, we all prioritize our families. We all prioritize
our culture. Friends,
the close people. Like we
trying to make our community here and like stay, as much close as we can as well. So, but at the same time, we probably integrate into this world as well, into English world, into London world. It's completely different.
It's completely different. I would say Glasgow is probably more Scottish.
It's more Scottish.
London being more English.
It is.
But that's. I feel like if we go back to your question, it was the similarities between Azerbaijani and English tradition. As I said, I think at the end of the day, it's very similar. Like we have same values, we have similar upbringings, we have manners. What anyone can feel as soon as they land to England, the respect, because people really respect each other here. People have respect even for a stranger. I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where you're in a queue somewhere in UK and so many people will tell, sorry, excuse me, while they pass. So that's...
I respect you so much, So my next question is going to be, what about the Azerbaijani community? Have you met many Azerbaijani here, or is it...
Very unfortunately, I would say, no.
Not really.
I don't have any Azerbaijani community in London and UK. And it's not that because I'm against or I'm close to that. No, that's not the reason. Actually, a few weeks ago, I met an Azerbaijani person at the gym and we got along very well. So it's not about that. It's more about the expat mindset, because for most of the people from my country who move outside of Azerbaijan, they always try to come back. So they study, they work for a bit, but then they travel back. Like in my mindset is, I want to build my life here. I want to have my career, I want to have my kids, my future family, my friends, everyone here. So that's where I want to build my heritage and my dynasty, because it's for me it's the perfect place. And obviously it has everywhere there are pluses and minuses, but I would say that's probably one of the reasons why we don't really get along, because we all have different ambitions and goals. But it doesn't mean that they're not. Maybe I haven't met the right Azerbaijani community yet, but I hope so. And actually, after the previous video, I received so many comments. And I'm actually going for a coffee with this lovely girl. Then I'm gonna see someone next week, and maybe that's what I needed to spend more time with my people.
Because it's really, I think it's probably difficult to find someone, but through the social media, it's much
it's so
easier.
Easy. I literally
support you.
Exactly. I received a message a few days ago. Hi, we studied at the same primary school. I was like, wow.
It's insane.
I was like, do you recognize me? And it's so small. The world is so small.
Exactly.
And we should look at from the bright side of the social media, that it gives us a chance to connect with someone that you haven't seen for years, for decades. And just in a second over a message. Everyone is very reachable.
Social media
is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And I've been recently to office head of Meta, and when I arrived there, I saw all that, this. It's the stands. It's the next generation, next years are going to be huge game changers, because social media is not even anymore just social media. It's ChatGPT. It's like people. Everything is designed for us, for humans. So,
is there many difficulties you faced in London when you just first came? I think because it's really difficult to just integrate in this London London world, and what advice would you give for people who watch you and they just dreaming about London in
It's, to be honest, it's my most favorite story and the time of my life when I just moved. It was unbelievable. It's like if you ask me the one thing that you want to relive, I don't want to relive any moment or any person or anything. I want to be again in that state when I just moved and I had no idea where I am. They've literally just taken me from Heydar Aliyev Airport and put me into Heathrow, and they told me that's UK. I mean, it's people by my supervisors because I moved to study. So, and when the minute I landed to Heathrow and I looked around,
these feelings.
I asked the guy, the security guy, I said, "Where's Big Ben?" And he looked at me, he said, so he thought probably I have issues. And he's like, "Do you take a tube?" I was like, "What's tube?" Because I know that it's called metro.
Yeah, metro or subway.
Like, tube. And then I took the tube and I went to see the Big Ben in London. It's one of my most beautiful places in the world. So
this feeling to see it for the first time. It's just unbelievable.
I was like a child in Disneyland.
Just like put into this world.
Yeah, I have goosebumps.
Yeah.
Every time when we cycle a lot with Oleg. Every time I cycle next to London Eye, we're stopping for a second and just like, we should appreciate this. Like this is we are living in the most beautiful and wonderful city. Personally, in my opinion, exists. So it has everything. And back to your question, I had lots of difficulties. First of all, I had a language barrier. I always could speak English, but sometimes I couldn't understand, especially Scottish people. Or if I would go UK, they would respond with a Scottish accent. I was like, I don't know if I can understand you. Still, I don't understand very well, but I mean, I try.
It took me 2 years to just like barely understand Scottish people, but I love the accent.
I love Scottish people.
We pal.
So yeah, and it's been very difficult. It's been when you move alone to London as a child, as a young girl from a small city back home, and obviously I've been like in Europe before, but I've been in US, but UK is very different. Especially as we said, the cosmopolitan cities are very different. And when I've been placed here, when I needed to figure out, because obviously my parents they sent me to one of the best universities to get education, but I needed to figure out what's next, because you can just get an education and you can have 3 degrees, but you might not know who you are. You might not even figure out what you want to do. So since the first minute I arrived, I had a goal to find out who I am. And because I realized that if I don't start it early, it's going to be too late. So I've been searching. I've tried everything. I worked in multiple places. I worked in a reception. I worked in a coffee shop. I worked in a theater. Like I worked in many places to find out. And actually today, I have one of my closest few friends in these workplaces, and we get along very well while we have different lifestyles in the sense of what we like and what we do. Because my friends, they are really into bartending, they're really into hospitality culture. But for me, it was just some jobs that I wanted to try, because I would still try it today. Like it's really interesting, it's really fun to figure out what is yours. And so
I really like the thing we just like come to the coffee shop, you're in Soho, and like everyone just like, oh, Maria. And everyone knows her.
Can I tell this one especially for the Gales? Soho, it's my favorite place to go in the world. Like Marianne, Isaac, like people who work there,
such an amazing feeling.
They inspire me, like they're the best. Like last few weeks ago, I was literally editing my podcast over there, and Marian, he approached me, we were speaking, he gave me so many great ideas. So that's why like it's one of the, I cycle there 25 minutes every day. So I go there just to be surrounded by great people. That's what I love about London. You can have great people, nice people everywhere. You don't need to be anyone for that. You don't need to be someone to be loved. You don't need to be someone to be approached. You You just need to be yourself and just need to be transparent as you are. I am very transparent. Maybe sometimes it's too much.
But see, what about the meeting people? How did you find it? Because for me it was really difficult, especially in Glasgow. There is lots of Scottish people, and they kind of like they literally can't understand my accent. They ask me many times, like just the simple question. So how was it for you? Like, how did you like find these people? How did you meet these people? Is there any advice that you can give me? Is it any like so like it is through social medias?
Yeah,
because for me, especially Instagram and social media helped me to find the Ukrainian community in Glasgow. It helped me a lot to just like, to live there, because when you're surrounded by people, it's much easier instead of you just like being yourself and by your own.
Obviously, well, that's much
Yeah.
No, for me it was never social media. I can approach anyone in real life.
Yeah.
I literally I can go to anyone. I can say I'm Maria. If I really like someone, I want to be friends. I wanna just make a comment about how they look. I just go straight away. I am a shy person in certain things, but I'm not
so
shy.
Approachable. You just like literally go straight to the. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I can speak to anyone, anywhere.
We go to the pub and Maria just, right, okay, we need to like this person.
We need to
like
make
give
a comment.
This energy.
Yeah. You need to give the energy and say how amazing she is.
She's not scared to just like go straight into person, just say, right, you got amazing energy. Let's like have a chat and and it's like how you build the network here. Like
I met one of my closest friends in the pool.
In the pool.
Yeah, in the pool we were literally standing there, and she's great. She's amazing, and I just went to her. Me and my friend went to her, and we're just obsessed with her. And that's me and my closest friends. We are very open, as you are, to make just to be honest. And it's not something that I would say I do to be friends with someone. If it works, it works. I do believe that if someone is meant to be in your life, you're never gonna force it.
Exactly. Yeah.
If someone is really meant to be,
but you need to like do some efforts for that.
Sometimes
and you do.
Sometimes I don't
just
think.
Like comes,
sometimes
comes along,
some people just come to our lives really easy and really with the flow.
Yeah.
We don't force it. When you start to force something, that means that it's not right.
Yeah.
That's what I've learned today. If I'm sitting with someone and I need to think about what I say, obviously I'm not gonna say something strange. But if I need to filter myself or think, then it's not my friend. Because unfortunately, in adult world, we cannot choose nowadays what we exactly want to do. Maybe we choose what we want to do, but we cannot choose exactly the exact position or exact salary or exact work hours, because we cannot really follow our hobbies until certain stages in our careers. But in social life, in personal life, we can choose. And that's actually the only place in our entire life where we can make a decision. You can choose people to see after work. You can choose people to see for lunch. You can choose people to have a coffee. Or you can choose people to travel with. And that's why I think friendships and relationships, it shouldn't be forced. Because why would you force yourself in a relationship and friendship while you have 9 to 6 job, while you've been while you're working so much and you need to filter yourself and think. So I think the healthiest way to have a healthy lifestyle in a busy work life and personal life is when you have people who really accept you, and and it's both ways. You accept them and you feel comfortable there enough to relax your mind. So that's why people are. It's not. There are no bad or good people. It's all about energy. Some people are for us, some not.
You choose.
You choose, and everyone has a match in this world. Every single person has a match. Like if you don't have a match or if you don't have a friend, then maybe just don't go to meet anyone. But I'm sure if you spend weekly 5-6 hours to meet new people, at the end of the day you will have a community which will support you and understand you. So, but I do believe in first 5-minute impression. I'm a first impression. Like the minute we met in Gales. So like our first meeting was there for work-wise, and actually you're the only person in my life who I became really close friends who I met through social media. It's the first impression, and then we were just sitting there and I said, should we have some food later? And I think food connects.
so
Maybe we
much
should,
in our
maybe one day if we go to a diet, our friendship wouldn't be the same.
Well, I think it's never
It
happened.
never happens. Yesterday I sent you a video that it's normal. It's normal to eat. It's normal to like, and the day after, like, are we going to Paris?
Yeah, it's all about the balance.
So back to your question. So I was saying that the first impression, I think if you got the energy in the first impression is there, otherwise it's never there.
Yeah.
There is some certain cases which is 1%.
But you see immediately if you meet a person and you just see the energy and how connected you are, and if it's much or either it's not. So yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. You see straight away if someone is for you or not. But sometimes you can be wrong. Like I had this friend that I thought the first few minutes when we met, I thought we would never be friends. She is opposite to me.
Mm-hmm.
I am opposite to her. We have completely different perspectives of life. Like I walk, she takes Uber. Like I run, she sleeps. Like we have a different lifestyles.
Mm-hmm.
And
still you had this like
but we connected very well. I'm seeing her tonight. And I just love spending time with her while we have completely different, like she's doctor, she has different things, you know her.
Yeah.
Like she's amazing. And actually she was one of the people who inspired me to start the podcast while
she's got completely different like lifestyle.
Yeah, because we have different passions, we live in different side of the cities, like we almost need a passport to see each other. That's how far we live, but that's how London is. But as I said, you never know, because even if someone by some facts, let's say work, lifestyle, let's say discipline. I mean, I'm not telling about my friend, like she's one of the most disciplined people I know, but some factors that doesn't match, it doesn't mean that the person cannot be your friend. I realized that to be friends or to start a relationship, you don't need to really have exactly similar perspectives. You can be so different, but at the same time so similar. That's what makes the friendship. And then meanwhile, there's some people who work in the same office and go to the same place and same gyms, and they're still close friends. So there's no formula for relationship and friendship.
So that's what I ask you the question about the relationship and dating in London. How is it going in your life? Is there any?
No. I mean, I don't want to comment on my personal life, but I think people say it's tough. Like, well, I speak to multiple people, and
people say it's endless as
people
well.
Say
like
it's tough
in
and
London
endless.
and dating, because it's like lots of like options, or lots of options, and people just like endlessly going like to this date.
It's more like a swipe next, and which I'm against of. I'm not supporting online dating. I'm more meeting someone in grocery or at the gym or at the work person. But some people do, and I know many people who build beautiful relationships through Hinge or through a dating app, and it works. It works. It's very individual. Again, it's a path, it's a journey. But people say it's tough, but I don't think it's tough. I don't think anything is tough in life. If someone really wants something, they get it. That's my life rule. If I want something in next 6 months, I build a formula how to get it in 6 months. I'm not talking about relationships, but relationships are very similar to any other factors that we have in our lives. It's like a career. It's like a hobby, like to develop something you need to work with.
I think it's also about the luck, and like the luck, how you
everything is about luck.
I know.
Everything is about luck, but we can attract luck. Like, I mean,
through loving ourselves as well. I think it starts with
but loving yourself in a coach and want to get an Oscar is not enough. You love yourself and you get out there and work a bit, and then luck can see you. Maybe, I don't know if some helicopter will land here and see us. That's a different story, but I do believe that
it's about hard work, and
it's a work. Luck is work. You can get lucky if you do something to us.
You need to be always out of your
or at least be
your sofa.
Or at least be in a bar.
Just be out. Because like how you can meet people if you're like sitting on the sofa and like thinking and like waiting for this like something happen, like, and sitting on these dating apps as well. Like, it's not like you need to go and force yourself to go out.
We're talking about different lucks. I'm talking Oscar luck. You're talking about dating luck. We have different
because it was my question about the relationship and dating, because like I think it's such a big thing nowadays. like people just like sitting on this stage, and everyone like has this app on their
When
phone,
I go
like
in a tube,
Tinder or like
or in a
everyone
bus,
just like
everyone's like
trying their luck on this app. I think it's like it's normal in our like real life. I think like 5-10 years ago nobody even thought about this status app. It's always like someone meets in the coffee shop.
I mean, if you watch Sex and the City, there's still
Right.
this matchmaking newspapers.
But still, I think it's getting more like normalized.
Which is okay. How else you gonna meet a person? You live in London. The only thing, look, that's actually a really good point. How else are you gonna meet a person?
But still, just like people become so insecure about themselves because like they're so shy to come and approach people in like real life. I think less and less people come and like and approach in real life because it's easier to just like message you through the social media or Tinder and try your luck on the social media instead of going like out and like force yourself to then the stress.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And I think it's a bad thing.
I think about relationships. I mean, I've never been a desperate person for a relationship. So for me, it's I knew that
going with the flow.
I know that it will come in the right time, and I don't.
And always gonna be the person that's in this world somewhere, and
it's already there.
Yeah,
it's all about the quantum physics and time.
Yeah,
it's just the matter of the meeting the person.
Exactly.
But it's already there. There is this quote I really like. It says, "This time, play this game as you're sure God is with you." I do believe in God, and I do believe in manifestations and the religions. Like I don't have a specific religion that I can say I belong to, but I do believe that there is a power. Not something I believe in God.
Yeah.
In I name it as God.
Yeah.
And I think He's always there for me. And if someone is there for me, why should I worry? Why should I stress about something? Maybe I stress about certain things, as we all do, but
then you realize it just like it happens.
It happens
just
whatever. Whatever you're stressing about, it will just go in a second. Like there's no point to stress, especially about relationships. As much as you stress, as much as you manifest how scary it is, and as more God and universe, whatever you believe in, is taking away from you. And because if you're the life of the rules really easy. I think it's all physics, and if you're scared of something, it won't happen.
Yeah,
because
it will
we
never come
give
to
the
you,
energy of fear. Whatever includes fear is not belong to us. So if you have fear in certain situations, that means that you need to get out of that and create a second version of this similar situation where you believe, where you trust. Belief and trust. These are the qualities that are key to the happiness. So if you believe in reality, in presence, and if you believe in future, and if you believe that everything will work out for you, it will. Maybe not straight away, but it will after a certain time. But if you have fear all the time, it will work out. But even if it does, you won't enjoy it because you had so much fear. And it's better always to nourish yourself and look up to the future as excitement rather than fear, to see it as an excitement next episode. Not always people are dying in next episodes in the movies. Sometimes they're happy ending. You never know what's going to be next episode. It depends how you want, which genre you want to have your life about. So if you are excited about future and you're just sending, let's say, positive energies, affirmations, positive mindset, even if you don't meditate or affirmate, like it's not really, I mean, I do, but I don't force any of my friends. I don't think it's very big. It has an impact, but if it doesn't belong to you, don't force yourself to meditate or affirmate. It's just a
believe
mindset.
In something.
Just have a mindset.
The belief, and everyone has different.
Exactly. Like, because it's not for everyone. Some people like to meditate while they're boxing. Some people like to meditate, like my father. He likes to meditate when he's climbing to highest mountain in the world, or some people like to meditate when they're singing. So we all have different ways to believe in something, and sometimes let's say some amount of the time where we feel like you're just enjoying the presence. So meditation is a way to enjoy the presence and to be in the moment and to ground your thoughts. So yes, it's a great practice just to have a sit and do that in a silence It's grounds your mind. It's silence is a really, really good medication for people, I think. But some people just don't like that. But I would say, even if you don't like to meditate or affirmate or whatever, like there's so many tournaments now, breathwork.
No.
Like yesterday I went to my studio and they have 6 new classes. I was like, what those classes do? Like, it's sound healing. It's that, like, it's great. Like, I love sound healing, but there are different types of sound healing now. There are new things coming up every day, which is great. But sometimes just silence for 10 minutes every day can be the best meditation without anything else. Like, yeah, you don't need to sit in any pose as a guru. You can just lay down in your bed in silence and just ground your thoughts, because it's coming from it's a really old practice. Like, people start to think that meditation came into the market as avocado did. Like, when people started to have avocado for breakfast, they started to meditate and do yoga. That's the mindset. Like, I think what people think about meditation, especially men. But it's not. It's meditation is a practice coming from Hinduism, from Indian culture. It's very, very long and really deep culture. Like, I don't want to speak about that now. But people have been practicing that for over hundreds and hundreds of years, over centuries. Like, some people just live entire life path by meditating, by singing mantras, which their choice and they're happy from that. So,
but still, it's all about the belief.
It's all about belief. But what I'm saying, that at the end of the day, all of these practices, all of these new classes, new tournaments, are made for people to ground them. So because we all need to be grounded. We cannot always be proactive. We cannot always do something. Because if we don't ground our mind, we cannot continue. It's like an iPhone. Like, if
you always need to
imagine always having 100%. Sometimes I let my phone lose all the battery because I feel that it needs to get grounded.
It's like on 1%. Oh, I've got 1%.
But let's phone to restart. You know, it's the same with our mind. If we don't ground our mind is like a disco. It continues to create thoughts and thoughts and thoughts.
Yeah.
So it's very, very important.
You know how much I love your style, and you're always in this fashion.
I'm not. I'm not. Honestly, yeah, please.
But is it really Azerbaijani culture influences this amazing style that you've got, or?
It's no culture. It's not like, if they're literally.
I don't think it's not a cultural thing.
There are no impacts from anywhere. So basically, what I do. So people think, you know how fast I get ready. Like, whenever we meet, I just call you. I'm like, I'm ready. Like, what?
Like, literally 5 minutes goes up. Yeah.
Like, even today, I just washed my hair and collected it and put a bit lipstick and wore the dress. Like, I have maybe 10 dresses and 10 suits and, like, let's say 10 t-shirts and 10 trousers. And I'm like a cartoon character, you know, they don't change outfits. Like, I have different varieties of same outfit. And I know that it's like, you know, you just take it and it's just.
But it's all about how you combine it. You've got.
I don't do anything. It's random. I just take a dress from my wardrobe, just take random shoes because they're matching somehow. Yes, maybe I have a feeling of a trend and style, but I'm not going to the shops and matching something. I like one piece. Like, I have statement pieces that I like, and I just wear those. And I have many of those, and that's why every time it looks like I prepared, but actually it's already there. Yeah. But I think it's the sense of style. Like, obviously I have great impact of Azerbaijani culture on my style. Like, maybe not the culture Azerbaijani style. It's Azerbaijani women are really stylish. Like, when I go to Baku, I look like a homeless person. I know. Especially if I go for a coffee, I feel like
it's like a TikTok.
What's wrong with me? Like,
in London, you're 10 out of 10, and then you come back and you're like 2 out of 10 because everyone just like
everyone is dressed up amazingly in Baku. And I remember this episode I went. So when I was in Baku last time, a few years ago, not last time, like when I was one of my recent visits. I went to this breakfast with my friend, and I thought breakfast was energy for blow dry. Like, you know, in the UK, in London, we do blow dry once in a month.
Yeah.
Like, I go with a wet hair, and I arrived there, and I said, maybe I should not even join the table because I literally look like I've been adopted from somewhere. So, and then I've said, and I know that they're so kind, but they understand. So that's, but yeah. So back to it, yeah, always like my grandmother. My grandmother is an icon. Both of my grandmothers, but one of them, she's really into fashion. So she would wear heels even to a grocery store. This woman would never ever wear pants or trousers. She has a collection of dresses, of the most beautiful shoes, and I think my grandfather, unfortunately I lost him 2 years ago, and I think he's never seen her in a bad outfit. Like this woman, she's unbelievable. She will always and always dress up, and that's why when people tell me, Maria, how do you walk in heels in Soho?
All the time I ask
always,
her, like,
I'm like, I can run.
Yeah.
My grandmother taught me that heels is something that female wears. I love wearing heels not because I want to be taller or I want to dress up. I just like it. It's a part of my day-to-day life, heels, and I feel so comfortable. As I said, I can run.
Cycle in
I cycle in heels. Yeah, I cycle. I run.
Dresses.
Yeah, I cycle. Yeah,
it's
so
insane when
some
you see
people
that. Like
yeah.
we just like going on the suits with and just like cycle around the London. Yeah, it's amazing feelings.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Like no, I love wearing heels and dresses. Like even a few days ago, remember we broke my shoes, and we just gave it to the repair. So yeah, and about style, I feel like in London people have great style as well.
Yeah.
Many people. Oh my God, every day, like even in the tube. Like one of my favorite things to do in the tube is like, so when the train arrives, I look in which wagon of the tube most stylish people are, and I run to that door and I get into that tube. So I see the people there. Like I always look in which one I should see. So I choose the best one with the best dressed people. That's how I choose my place to sit. And sometimes I bump into my friends, like, and it's funny, yeah. So.
You should visit me in Glasgow, because in Glasgow no one cares. Like literally, if I go in a suit, that's why I always like bring all this stuff here to London and just like wear it here. But still in Glasgow,
that's my trauma.
We're like, okay, Miriam, tomorrow we wearing all just relaxed, casual, like.
And the next day,
and the next day,
they're like
white suits.
Yeah.
We were like, oh. I think it's like also like a cultural thing, because if you can tell where like Eastern Europeans like on the tube, they just like wearing like this.
Not all. I think it's like it really depends. Like I mean, even I see some Azerbaijanis, the friends that I mentioned, the one that in back would dress up in the breakfast. They wouldn't do that here. Like they're looking exactly as I arrived to that breakfast. But if they travel to London, they would. I think it depends where you are. I do believe that you need to dress up as you feel. There are no rules.
Yeah.
Even if you feel like going, remember I told you, I went in pajama for dinner. If you feel like you want to wear something for I do believe that you need to be appropriate for each place. Like you cannot go in bikini to conference. But if you feel like you want to wear something more easy, more chill, whatever, that's why I love London. Like there are these people that have this great style. They do whatever they want because no one cares. No one cares what you wear. Like I'm sure if we're gonna literally body paint our stuff in pink and on top wear a fur, no one will say anything.
And that's why I love London. Like,
that's
the amazing thing about London, because no one cares and you've got this freedom everywhere. Yeah, I love it. What challenges have you faced as an Azerbaijani woman making your name in London when you just came?
Not much. Like first of all, as I said, people are always surprised when they hear Azerbaijan. Even remember in a taxi yesterday.
Oh my God, this.
We're not gonna.
Try. Yeah. Okay.
I feel like Azerbaijani people. So in our mindset, we are really, really, really sincere people. We are really open. We are really warm. All of our songs, all of our movies, all of our TV shows.
But I think you're also representative of Azerbaijani culture as well here in London, especially because there's not many Azerbaijan. And if English people meet you and you're the face of Azerbaijan, you just like need to.
Honestly, I am.
You need to be yourself for sure, but you need to also got on the mind that you represent the culture, because they always make an opinion for like either you're Azerbaijan and and they and after they like speak to other like English people, they, oh, I met the Azerbaijani person and she's great, and oh my god, like
Actually, that was one of the ways that I met my friend, Azerbaijani friend. We were in a restaurant and I went just outside and I saw a friend and he said, oh, let me introduce you to Azerbaijani princess. And you see, people remember that. Even I mean, you know, like
even if you don't think they're not gonna remember like where are you from and what's your heritage. They always they always do.
Always. And especially if it's somewhere unique, they wouldn't remember the name, they wouldn't remember what you do.
But they I've got the Azerbaijani friend and you're unique. They already like got you're on their mind. So you always need to be like careful.
No, I don't need to be careful.
You need to be yourself, but myself. At the same,
I think I've never been. I know how to speak, and I think I'm a well-spoken person. But as you said, like I'm in the society that I am in is mostly like TV, so creative society, and I meet many actors. I meet many film producers, actors, comedians. And recently I met just randomly a great comedian and very talented person, Trevor Noah. And we were just having a chat with him. And I told him I'm from Azerbaijan. And he said, you're the first Azerbaijani I met. And I mean, he probably meets many, many people. But that's how rare we are. Because we are not showing ourselves in the world, because our population is not as big. Compared to it's in Azerbaijan, it's 9 to 10 million, but compared to Chinese population, compared to the English population, compared to Ukrainian population,
even the Ukrainian is much
big just as a number wise. And that's why when I was speaking to Trevor, he was surprised. And then a few weeks later, I bumped into him again. He said, "Oh, you're the Azerbaijani person I met." I was like, "Yeah." So people remember, or it's.
But I think it's amazing thing as well that you represent like your country as well. You're just like, oh,
I feel
like
proud.
and you all the time telling about the Baku, about like your country as well, that how much you love, and you're like, oh, come visit me. You all the time invite me to visit Baku, and I really want to, literally, because but
it's
beautiful.
I don't want to like. It's hard when you need to speak about yourself, what you say, but I feel like I'd like to make it. It's natural. First of all, it's never been forced. It's automatic. It's like it just happens.
You want to promote your country.
I don't promote. I'm being myself.
It's all natural. Like
it's very natural. And sometimes I see people, especially like from, I don't want to name any country, but I see people there shy to tell where they're from. Maybe because of some certain things going on in their countries, or for personal reasons. I do believe that you need to be proud where you're from, whatever happens. And I've been always so proud and about myself being from Azerbaijan, and that's really, really intrigues people, because people like to know more about the person who is speaking loudly about their heritage, about their families, about their traditions, about their historical aspects. And that's why each second, like and you know, in London, like third questions after your name and in which side of London you live, it's where you from.
Where you from.
Or maybe
where's your accent from?
Where is your accent from? So when I say I'm from Azerbaijan, they're like, Azerbaijan? Especially I have this with American people, and I love it. I have so many American and Canadian friends, but for them, Azerbaijan is very far geographically. So they probably never even had a situation when they've seen something about it, because in Europe people still see our country a lot, because it's really close by. We have ongoing exhibitions, expos, and concerts and events. But for American and Canadian people, it's far away, and for Australians. So when I start to explain about Baku, about Azerbaijan, because Baku is not just the only city in Azerbaijan. We have second capital. We have Ganja. We have entire Nagorno-Karabakh. Is Shusha, Fizuli. We've got our lands back from Armenian territory, and now we are rebuilding those parts of our country. And it's going to be wonderful. Hopefully, like the process is going really fast. So hopefully in a year or two, we will be able to travel there. Like even now we can travel, but I'd like to travel when I feel like it's the best time and everything gonna be prepared and ready for international visits, so I can bring friends with me.
But do you still miss this? Like,
and
I miss so much. Sometimes you're just like, oh,
you want to go home.
And just have this like safe place that you can come back.
Well, until I hope really soon everything will be sorted in your country, and until that you have always Azerbaijan to come back, and I'm sure we will make you like your home.
We're gonna travel around Ukraine, Azerbaijan, and all these countries.
That would be wonderful. Hopefully very soon. And anyway, about we were talking about how I explain. So when I explain people about my country, like they have so many questions. They're like, so but do you speak Arabic? Like, we are very far away from Middle East and Saudi Arabia and all the Arabic countries.
That's the same if they ask me,
do
you speak Russian? No, they speak Russian. Yeah. Do you have Ukrainian? You have Ukrainian language? I was like,
and it's strange. Like that's I respect their question, and I'm glad they asked me. I'm glad people asking me if Azerbaijani people speak Arabic, so I can say no. We have our own language. And they're like, is it Russian? That's the second question. I'm like, we speak Russian because Azerbaijan used to be Soviet Union, part of Soviet Union before 92. And so I'm glad people asking these questions, so I can respond and I can give them an answer to them, so they don't have any more misunderstandings. Because if you don't ask, you don't know. I always like to ask. Like yesterday, we were watching tennis with my friend, and I was asking him the most strangest questions in the world. I was asking, what is 15 points? Or I was asking, like, who serves first? Like, basic questions about tennis. And he was explaining me, so now I know. Why would you be shy,
to
ask a question that you don't know? I think you should always ask and get an answer. Then the next time you share with someone. I always do that. If I get any information, I like to share that. So for example, if I get something new in my system, some new information, some new...
you always want to share with the world.
I want to share with the world. I want to say like, oh, you know what? Like, the world is... It's like that. It's like this. So some people don't. Some people, I realize that. Some people really want to think that they know everything. And I'm happy to have them in my life as well. I don't judge. Maybe we all act like that sometimes, but the key of learning is focusing on the things that you don't know rather than you know. Because you already have it. It's all about what else you can learn about. So now I'd like to, so I posted this story about the questions that I'd like to respond. There is this few questions that we've chosen because we don't have much time for each episode. Are you fully Azerbaijani? Which part of Azerbaijan are you from? So I am fully Azerbaijani. I'm 100% Azerbaijani, and I'm from Baku. Originally, my father's side is from Shamakh, so I was born in Baku and I was raised there. So the second question is, how can someone with not very good surroundings can build strong network for the career and development? So I assume by surrounding you mean a network. If you don't have a good surrounding, then you can try to create and build it. So for the early stage of that, if you want to develop your network skills and learn how to socialize, if you're not confident about that, there are many networking events in each city. They're from small size to bigger size. And
there is even lots of apps with like this network.
Maybe
meetings,
but maybe we don't know where the person is living. So there's so many online virtual networking events. There's so many streamings there. If you're from a small city that doesn't have much, but I'm sure which is probably starting to.
But still, it's always about yourself. You need to be confident and like build this, confidence in yourself, don't be scary of like, show yourself and build this network as well, because like sometimes people just like scared you.
It's not about being scared to build a network. I really adore one few people from my country which started to express themselves on social media, and they started to build a community of networking. They started to create events. So if something doesn't exist in your place yet now, you can always get it through get the information and idea and impact in your city. So if you want to network, if you want to meet new people, create if you don't have it there, just create a space for that. My good friend always said that if you want to have more friends, find a way to bring them together. Buy TV, order 2 pizzas, and invite them over. So you have at least 4 friends now.
So I know that you had your art exhibitions. Was it in Azerbaijan?
Yes, yeah. My exhibition was in İçeri Şehir. It's an old city in Baku.
What was like the most surprised opinion from your guest that's in your exhibition?
I had this hilarious guest. So I had few reporter channels and I had few magazines. So this person, he came up, he said, I'm from this magazine, I'd like to have an interview with you, I love your artwork. And then it's like, okay, sure. So he took me on the side and I thought it's gonna be a proper interview. And I'm not joking, it's 2018 and he took a phone that's probably from 2002. And he started recording with that phone.
Oh. And
that recording was on YouTube. And he has a channel and he's from a magazine which has 3 followers. And it's one of the loveliest moments. He's very sweet, very sweet. He's asking me, and at that point I was like really young when I had the exhibition. And he's asking, there was this funny person, are you married? The question he asked me. And I was so lost, like how to answer. And he asked me this strange questions. And obviously he was really sweet, and this interview is still on YouTube, and you can see me. He's recording me from here. So sometimes it's my eyes speaking, sometimes it's my nose, sometimes it's my mouth, but it's never my entire face. So yeah, that was
probably. That's so cute and sweet. Yeah, people trying, and it's all about trying as well.
Exactly, for sure. That's so sweet. We all try. As I said, if you want to have a channel, just create it. Yeah. That's it. That's what I tell to this young gentleman every day. I'm literally telling him that if you have a passion for something, be surrounded by people who have similar passion. If you're at the beginning of it, afterwards it doesn't matter. You have mixed people, but when you see it's like a gym. Like when we go to Paris, if we have full class, we work harder, right? Because we see everyone's working. But when I'm alone on a floor, I don't really want to do much. So it's all a stimulation of group work and teamwork. That's why if you have a hobby, if you have a passion about something, if you want to achieve something, try to be surrounded by people who want to achieve similar things. So if you do that, you will have a flow of the similar ambition and the energy, which will increase.
Forced to do something.
Yeah. I'd like to make a few last comments about today's episode. So, as I said in my first episode, I'm going through a lot and it's been not an easy journey. It's hard for me to keep going and express. Like Maria knows, Maria is our talented videographer and the head of production who organizes all these sets and creates the videos and edits them. Thank you so much. And I've been postponing the shoots. We were changing the dates and hours. But I'm sorry for that, but it's just been so hard for me to continue to keep going because I've been going through a hard period. But it's getting well. There are ups and downs. We cannot be same color every day. So one day I'm blue, one day I'm red, one day I'm white.
And that's okay.
That's okay.
Well, thank you for inviting me as well.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me here.
And I hope we can have more channels where it's episodes where we speak and share our thoughts. And I'm really looking forward to see you soon again, which is the day after tomorrow. So, yeah. Thank you so much, and just be yourself. Enjoy life as it is. Accept how you are. Love yourself, nourish yourself, and be excited about the future. It's not always a fearless future. It's not always. We always think about the bad probability that might happen, but there are always great things happening. So just see the good side of it rather than the bad, because you can always be scared about something that you don't know. Yeah, that's how human nature is. We are scared about the things that we don't know, and we are scared about the unknown. But unknown is fun. So imagine if you knew everything. It wouldn't be as cool and interesting as it is. So just be in a flow. Sometimes it's hard, but just try to find the right balance between your mind, your body, and presence. At least each of them works for 30%. The life is much easier. That's what I personally try to do, and that's what I try to impact, and that's what I like to bring into my today's life. Well, thank you.